Ladies and gentlemen, what is the worst thing you've ever seen? Perhaps it's a car crash? A very big spider, perhaps. Maybe something traumatizing happened to you as a young child. And while all things are pretty bad, nothing is quite as bad as a blunder. If you're new to chess and you just saw this video, perhaps, and you were interested, a blunder is a generational mistake. It's an undoubted mistake, a mistake that loses the game pretty much. Although you can come from a blunder, it is pretty hard to do, especially in the early stages of chess as you're still learning the different concepts of pieces and different movements and strategies and whatnot. And today, we have a 400 ELO game against two players. Some good moves were made, some terrible moves were made. We're gonna go over it. And let's just see exactly where the tides turn and exactly how we can get better at chess. Because while we're laughing at the people, don't cancel me, we're just making fun. I'm just making jokes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just making jokes. These are jokes. Don't get mad. People get mad on Reddit. They say, I'm gonna cancel you for all these jokes that you made. You take advantage of your viewers. Don't cancel me. I'm just making jokes. And I don't even read your comments. I don't read the comments that say that. Alright? So let's just start with the game. Alright, shut the fuck up. So we start with e4, pretty just normal. In fact, a lot of the beginning moves for a lot of lower rated chess, it starts with relatively normal moves and then it starts getting a little just bad. So normal responses, this is the French defense, and then opens with their bishop. Great move. Moving their bishop before their knight, good idea. Black moves is their b6 pawn. Why? To open up their bishop, of course, even though this bishop was already open. And now the bishop is moved. And again, this opening is pretty normal. All the things are normal. And then all of a sudden, at some point, someone makes a stupid fucking move. And the first person to do it is White. White makes this very dumb move. Why is this move so dumb? Because this piece right here is free. It's free for this knight to take. It's just sitting there. What does Black do when they see this free piece on the board? They take it. Of course they take it. Of course they do. Great idea. When you see a free piece on the board, take it for the most part. Although sometimes it can get you into some sticky situations. So the movements continue. And then Black gives her knight away for free. Oh, no. She doesn't. She forks these two pieces. And then it gets taken back, 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 and then check. Okay, so this was actually a pretty good move. Because this pawn was being defended by this pawn was being defended by this pawn was being defended by this. This was being defended 3 times by 3 separate pieces, which was only being attacked 1 time. Or no, 2 times actually. So Black wins this trade-off. And then Black checks. Black checks because Black sees the opening. You see, in 400 ELO chess, if you see a check, just do the check. Why? I don't know. Those are the rules of 400 ELO chess. Don't ask me about the rules of 400 ELO chess. They're on a completely different planet. So White takes the knight. The bishop continues checking, and now Black is completely losing. Why is Black losing? Well, Black can simply take a side step with his bishop. You just get a bishop for free. Now this is 400 Edo chess. Do they know about the backstab? Does white know about the backstab? That's what you're thinking. Let's see the answer. The answer is no. What does black do? Black takes the bishop. Black notices. Black notices the free bishop. Why? Does black notice the free bishop? But white doesn't notice the free bishop. Okay, so now the queen is pinning the bishop, which is a very good move, by the way. Very good move. Black reinforces the bishop with a pawn, but only has one piece defending this piece. Maybe you should have this piece also defending this piece. Maybe you should castle, or maybe you should castle so then this rook can defend this piece, and you can have a pretty good defense on this one bishop. And there's so many places you can go. You can go here. You know, you can get this push this over here, push this over here, push this over here. You can go over here. You can really go anywhere your heart desires, to be honest. And then, you know, maybe you can do this. Maybe you can, you know, go there. Maybe you can go here. Maybe you can go here. Maybe you can go there. Maybe you can go here. You can go there. Really, I mean, look at all of that, right? I mean, this is just so many places you can go. And you really, it's just up to your imagination at this point. Stockfish really likes it, but I fucking hate Stockfish. I hate Stockfish. I don't like it. I do not like Stockfish, no. Anyways, believe it or not, this game keeps going. This game keeps going. So, now that white has set up something very tricky and something very terrible to deal with. This bishop, although right next to this pawn, cannot take the pawn because it is being pinned by the queen. This is why you need to castle. But black could not castle. So what does black do? Blunders a piece. Black blunders a piece. So white takes the free bishop. Obviously, you take the free bishop. And now black has just blundered a queen. You see it, right? The free queen. It's right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we circle back to the beginning of this video. What is the most scary thing you've ever seen in your life? Because while your trauma might be valid, you know, terrible things happen to people, nothing is quite as bad as getting your queen taken for absolutely free. Black takes back in resentment, and the game continues. Discover check, a strong move. And now, black is winning. Black is winning. Black is winning. Black is winning. Why is black winning? Because black can do this. Oh wait, no. Black can, what can black do? Oh, black can do, what the fuck can black do? Black can do this. And then if that happens, then you know you can do this. And if that happens, where does the queen go? Well, the queen has to fucking die. The queen has to fucking die. And now this king is open. And now suddenly you're winning because you have a bishop and a rook. And your teammate only has a rook. And this rook is trapped in the corner. I mean, it can come out if it wants. But that's only in the next move. That's only in the next move. I mean, you can keep doing this. You can do that. And then eventually you're pushing this bishop, and this bishop can, I don't know what this bishop can do. Oh, this bishop can do this, which is puts pressure on this bishop. Oh, and pins it, because the king is right here. Great move by me, by the way. Great move. I'm a genius. But let's see what happens instead. Instead of doing this very smart check, What does black do? Black checks with the rook. Why does black check with the rook? This was a free queen to build back up, because if the person did this, by the way, this is checkmate. That's checkmate. That is checkmate as clear as day. Right? So the only move was this. So you get the queen for free, and you get to check, and you get to move this king out of its square. And you get to do all these things that are now open. And they just don't do it. Because I don't know. I don't know. And there's so many things you can do now. You can now push this pawn to check this king. And then move your rook out, and then, you know, whatever. But I think black would end up winning, because you can just push your pawns. You can push your pawns. Let's say this happens. You know, the rook can take this pawn now. So what does white do? I don't fucking know what white does. They also push their pawns. They need to push their pawns now, because they have no pieces that are useful to them. And they can keep pushing. And they can keep pushing until eventually you can get yourself a pretty decent checkmate. Oh, this is May and 7. Holy shit. Okay, anyways. There's all these different things that could have happened, but none of that happens. She gives away her queen for free. She gives away her rook for free. She gives away every fucking piece for free, to be honest. And believe it or not, this game keeps going, ladies and gentlemen. This game keeps going forever. It keeps going. There's still a bunch of moves left. There's still like 20 or so moves. Yeah, there's still like fucking... Yeah, there's still like 20 moves, which is insane. There's 50 moves in this fucking game. About 60, actually. And each move gets worse the more moves that are made. And I'm just making jokes, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm just making jokes. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. Do not cancel me. Stop saying on Reddit, you're gonna cancel me. Stop saying in the comments, you're gonna cancel. I'm just making jokes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just making jokes. Oh, okay, so we continue, and this game, believe it or not, continues, and now mate in 8 is on board. Does black notice? Absolutely not. Now it's mate in 1. It's mate in 1. Black doesn't notice. Guess who else doesn't notice? White doesn't notice. This is mate in 1. Where can black go? Nowhere. The king is defending here, the pawn is defending here, the pawn is defending here, and the queen is defending all of these 3 squares right below the king. You have now created a very, very solid checkmate. This doesn't happen. The game keeps going. The game keeps going, ladies and gentlemen, and they just dance around. Their pieces just dance around. They just fucking dance around forever. And now this queen is gone. This queen is gone. And now this king just needs to keep dancing around. And now the king has squished themselves into a corner. And now it's checkmate. All of a sudden, you had pieces completely full on this board, and it has turned into one single queen. Not even the same queen that you had at the beginning of the game, I mind you. This is a queen promoted from a fucking pawn. You end up with one promoted pawn and a king right behind the queen. And they are squishing the king. That is how this game ends, ladies and gentlemen. This is terrible, ladies and gentlemen. So many bad moves are made here. The missing of the mate in one is as wild as it gets. Because white could have set up a very nice checkmate. And let's say... yeah, they could have set up a very good checkmate. This is the only check they see, because, you know, 400 ELO brain is not the brightest. But black played some very bad moves here. White played some very bad moves here. They both played some strong moves here. I mean, black was winning at it. Let's remember that black was completely and utterly winning at that point. On this move, white moves their bishop back. Why do they move their bishop back? Never move your pieces back. Why do you never move your pieces back? Because you can make an attack yourself. Right? You just don't do it. You could do this. There's literally a check right here. A check. A beautiful check, by the way. You just don't do that. You do not move your pieces back. Always try and move them forward. The thing you need to be asking yourself at all times when playing chess, when you're stuck in some sort of sticky situation, and for the most part what you should be asking for most of the game is checks, captures, attacks. Can I check the king? Can I capture a piece? Can I set up an attack on something? This is the way to move your pieces forward on the board so you can later attack things and have control over the whole board, right? If you have all of your pieces out here in the middle, you have control over the middle. You have control of the board. If they're just doing shit like moving their pieces back. But they moved their piece back. And if black plays this, white is in trouble. White is in big trouble. What can white do? I have no idea. White is in huge trouble. If black plays. But black doesn't play it. Black does not play it. I said black just moves these pieces and blunders a queen. What is the link to your course? I'm going to be honest with you. Do not ask about my fucking course ever in your life, ever again. I might have to ban you if you ever do that. Don't ask about my course. You have to do your own. Don't ask about my fucking course. I swear to God. Don't ask about my course. If you ask about my course one more time, I'm gonna skin your whole family. Don't ask about my course. Don't ask about my course. Don't ask about Stockfish. Don't ask me about anything. Because I will kill you. I'm trying to record you. Can't you see my fucking camera right here? You're banned. And I'm doxing you, alright? Get out of here. Please get out of my chat. Get out of my chat. Now. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to learn from this game. Thank you for watching. Please get better at chess. And I will see you next time. Please, don't cancel me.